Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I wanted to talk about robots dancing on poles in nightclubs next to human beings, just for a moment. I figured to myself, hey, we can have a conversation about this on a lot of levels, because right now I feel like more than ever, the media, the establishment are pushing anything goes when it comes to sexuality and technology. And they've tried to mesh this together for some time. So, to start, just to begin, to ramp it up a little bit here, I want to start with this story here. Now, they're going to have these sexy dancy robots, this like weird art project thing going on poles next to, real human beings. This is going to be at a French nightclub called Nane. Now, it's got the surveillance cameras, it's hip, it's trendy. But the truth of the matter is, this has been sold for a very long time. You can think back to not only science fiction, novels, television shows, movies, things like Blade Runner with replicants, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, Blade Runner really is that pioneering film, more human than a human, where most of these robots, if you will, gain sentience, but a lot of them are sex slaves, right? Well, we'll get into that in a moment. We're not quite there yet, but I do want to point out that they have these same robots, and there's the money celebrating it. Open up the CES show in Vegas. Where was that? When was that? In 2018, I believe, okay? So this has also come to America, right? Now, when we start getting into things like Blade Runner, et cetera, and the push, not only for these really weird sex dolls and, that type of fetish, because I remember watching HBO when I shouldn't have been as a teenager, right, on the real sex programs, and even then, or listening to Howard Stern, and they always had the real sex dolls there, and now they're getting more and more robotic. And by the way, we are going to take all your questions. I'm going to try to take all super chats, so get them in there, and we're going to go through as many as possible. So I appreciate the support. I want to get your take on this as well. But really, this has a whole nother meaning, because we're also being pushed into anything goes sexually, and really our consciousness isn't going to be on our bodies anymore, right? We're going to be transhuman. Transhumanism is the next movement. The singularity will come, and if you want to take that shape or any other, you're going to be able to, right? You're going to be able to upload your consciousness. And, we saw that, for instance, very heavily in Altered Carbon. Now, I would argue that right now Westworld is probably asking that question, and the question of consciousness, better than any other piece of media or art. And I want to remind people, the Westworld was actually a 1970s movie. Michael Crichton, same guy that brought you Jurassic Park and a lot of this other science fiction that's out there, that, again, has moved into the realm of not only possibility but probability, and in some cases things have been done, right? So based on, there was also, I think Future World is the sequel to this, but I'm sure a lot of you have looked at this, right? And the questions it asks not only about consciousness itself, but whether or not we can actually upload our real consciousness, or are we simply just going to make an imitation of it? And that's certainly how I feel about it. I do believe that no matter how hard we try, as soon as we leave this physical body, maybe there's ways for life extension, for instance. I think that's a very, very real technology, regenerative tissue technology. But once you say that your consciousness is no longer attached to this physical body, to your brain, I really do believe that's the end of the ball game. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys have more of a Kurzweilian perspective, but I certainly believe it's being pushed on us now, artificial intelligence, more than ever. And, the sexualization of robotics and the fetishization of all these things is a bit disturbing to me. All right, with that being said, you came here for the AMA, So let's get into the questions. By the way, Dylan Avery, Disco Dylan, if you will, chimed in while he was waiting in there. I'm not sure if he's back or he was just chiming in while he could. He says, when are you going to settle down with a nice robot lady? Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Not looking for a nice robot lady. Thank you, unemployed Mario Yamasaki. Always a pleasure. Let's see. Something about my dog. Glucosamine for the limp leg. The leg's been pretty good. I mean, again, for those that don't know, my dog has been sick. She's 12 and a half years old. I took her into the vet. They said it was bone cancer. They gave her 2 weeks to 2 months. They gave me just pain meds and said ride it out. I'm going with the Joe Tippins. I did the pain meds for like 2 days. I'd already started her kind of on the Tippins, but didn't have everything for that. And I'm telling you, she looks great. She's surely not in pain, right? And the limp has gotten progressively better, and she's running upstairs, so I don't know what else to say. And for those that don't know what that entails, go to mycancerstory.rocks. Essentially, I give her fenbenzidol, vitamin E, curcumin, and what's the last thing? And CBD every day in her food. And that's about it. But she has done pretty well. Dog's name Karma, which means action. Karma being healthy is proof against Western pet meds, vet advice. Just like people, big pharma, nature meds. I don't know. I think the vets are good natured there. I just don't think they know. I mean, again, we'll see about... Joe Tippin's story is amazing, and we're going to have him on the program. If you're not aware of the mycancerstory.rocks, remember, guys, I'm doing, 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7 videos a day. I've had the kids on double, so really been rocking 3 or 4. But the Joe Tippin story is where on this thing? We're almost, I don't know, we might be more than 500 videos now, but we're at least close to that. Man, so many of these videos. Let's see. Where is Tippins? Where is Tippins? There's the mega connection. There it is right there. This cancer story rocks. Joe Tippins and fenbenzidol. So, they told this guy to go to hospice and die. He got down to like 85 pounds. He'd done everything from the chemo, et cetera, and he got a tip. So if you want to go check that out, that's how he cured it. I just told you the secret recipe, if you will. If you want to know more about it, go check out this video. Like I said, we're going to have him on. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you that's what I did with my dog, and my dog's doing pretty well. Let's see. I don't look amused. No, I'm not amused at Robot Girls. Probably not my thing. Not my shebango. Shout out to Disco Dylan. I think that you were talking about the 9/11. Oh, see, it jumps. Didn't mean for it to jump all that way, guys. Burmese Brigade Kitty was talking about the Anthony Saltalamacia interview from 9/11, who was with William Rodriguez, who gives a very stirring account that day that may or may not, if you pay attention to it, he certainly doesn't think it does, jive with the official version. So I see a lot of haters and skeptics out there boasting that 9/11 truth, we're 9 days away. And basically no one in the media is really talking about 9/11 anymore. The war on terror is solidified. We're not leaving any of these countries. Every once in a while there's some fear hype with ISIS and Iran now, and possibly Syria, but that's about it. You almost don't have to mention 9/11. They're going to have that History Channel documentary on Air Force One being a target. Angel is Next. I cover that in my film Fabled Enemy, so go check that out. But yeah, I think it's still a really important issue. Okay, let's see what we got here. Curious company responsible for creating them. Waste of money. LOL. I don't know what that means. You know what? I should get away from the top chat and go to the live chat, by the way. I don't mean to do that. Boom. All right. So, Kitty questions. What are the nuts and bolts of the sex robot story? We went over it. Will you have Richard Gage on as a guest or Truth Stream friend? I don't know Jay Dyer. I think I've seen like a video someone sent me, played in the background. It was kind of interesting. I think it was something on the occult, right? Possibly Kubrick. Maybe that's what I listened to him. He seems like an interesting guy. I don't see why I wouldn't have Jay Dyer on. And Richard Gage is always welcome. I'd love to have Gage on. Let's see. Drufus says hello to Kitty. All right, get the puns in now. If I was R2-D2. We can't say that, can we? No. disgusting. Robots aren't sexy. I agree. Ew, why? Just why? Upload consciousness. Exactly. Laughable in my opinion as well. The ending of Westworld Season 1 is so confusing. Aren't there 2 seasons done now, though? Aren't they about to be on 3? I didn't think it was that confusing. I kind of followed it and all the little theories all along the way, and especially the one of the multiple timelines, etc. There are multiple timelines going on all the time in that show. It's meant to be disorientating and confusing. I think it's one of the more brilliant shows out there, asking some really deep, dark questions about where we're going as human beings, but that's just me. Stick a fork in my pachinko machine when I was 8. Oh, you stuck a fork. Knocked me out. I'm not sticking anything in a robot. Like pachinko the game? Like the game? Oh, how am I not in front of this? We need to take the chat and we need to put it behind my hand so I can have my hand over there, right? Yeah. Bam. There we go. All right, so let's continue. I missed the dancing robots. You want dancing robots? Oh, yeah, let's pole dance. Oh, sexy robot time. We're doing sexy robot time. Yeah, sexy robot time. Because that's what I want. A surveillance bot. Yeah, gyrate for me. Yeah, sexy robot time. No, thank you. No, thank you on the sexy robot time for me. All right, let's continue. We will never be able to transfer consciousness. If it's not biologically, I don't know how it would be done. But again, I'm a small pea-brained man. But I still believe that we might have a soul. Right and wrong might exist. Good and evil exist in my world. That's just me. What do you think about synthetic biology? That's a different ballgame. I really don't know. I'm not a biologist. I think, again, the transference of consciousness. Does consciousness lie only in the brain? Or is the brain just yet another tool that directs that consciousness through our nervous system? I don't know. It's a good question. I know that, if you do enough damage to the brain, that's lights out no matter what. The same with your heart, right? Lights out no matter what. It's a good question. I don't know. We leave our bodies during sleep. I don't know about that. Judge Report has been pushing robot sex for years. Crazy, and who's paying it to do so? Robot sex, stupid. Why? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I actually like relationships with girls. With another human being. It's kind of my thing. I mean, I wish I had more time for that. Especially when you get a good one and a deep connection, you actually like each other. It's unbelievable, right? Girls are fun. I in my world. So I don't know why I want a sexy time robot. What? Because it can't talk back? Because it's not going to be a challenge? Because it's going to be docile, bend to your wishes? It's kind of bizarre in my world. Why would you want to dominate essentially a soulless, inanimate object? And, I get it. There's loneliness out there. There's people that are desperate. Incels get a lot of attention these days. But, improve yourself. Improve your life. Do some push-ups. Set some goals. And slowly but surely, things will get better. I promise. All right. Let's go. Let's continue here. Disco Dylan. Women been sexualizing robots for years. A lot of people have. Will he be in New York City on the 9/11 anniversary? I don't know. You know what? It looks like the kids just got pushed back to Monday. I thought Thursday was going to be school, but apparently construction's not done, so now it's going to be on Monday. I doubt it. I doubt I'm going to be able to make that short-term trip. I know that sucks, but I also have a wedding 2 weeks after that. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, guys. I'm going to be quite honest. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I probably don't. All right, let's continue. Wonder how much for... Oh, no. Well, there's all those other weird machines you can stick your flamingo in. You know what I'm talking... Isn't that the Asian self-gratification machine we'll talk about? Hold on. I don't want to type it in and have you guys see it. But... Oh, boy. Yeah. Let's see if we can get the news on that. All news. Yeah, it's for like a doctor's extraction. But I mean, yeah, they're helping China through some hard times right now. $6,000. Oh, yeah. So there you go. That's a thing. Ugh. Yikes. All right, let's get back to the nitty gritty. And by the way, guys, I'm doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you're new to this channel, thumbs it up, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter. I wanted to do, you know what? Now's a good time to go over that story too. This woman, probably do a full video on her, but this woman right here, she's got a new Netflix show called 12 Forever. And she has written some disturbing things about young teenage boys. I wasn't aware of who the quartering was, but I watched his video. He's got quite a few subscribers over there, quite a lot of people watching his videos. And I'll just say this. This woman probably shouldn't be around children. And she worked for the Cartoon Network for some time. I'd go watch that video. I'm going to wait until I can. She deleted her Tumblr account where she said a lot of things. I mean, there was a whole post about how she was really turned on by this young boy who was with his mother and she wanted to approach him, but she couldn't because the mom was there and she was taking pictures, and it made me want to vomit in my mouth. So, yeah. I mean, these people, I call them out on both sides. There's nothing cute about that in my world. Okay? I want to make that extremely clear. All right, let's get back to the questions here about robots and whatnot. Let's see. Wonder how okay. Some of his BF. Live broadcast, we will super chat the ship out of you. I want a robot made like the Jetsons. I bet you, one day that'll be a model. Or you'll have models that can either transform their appearance into things like that, or maybe a hologram that kind of goes around and does certain things, right? You can kind of skin them. That's a definite possibility. Let's see. Drufus, LMAO. Do you believe there exists a true rags to riches story? Yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah. 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 There are true rags to riches story. Most of it's by force when you get up to the very upper echelons. But, what is rich to you? Does rich mean you're some kind of an empire where you crush people financially through your corporation, through your gangster activity? I mean, what is that? Or is success building something with integrity that you believe in and being able to provide for a family you love and then generationally pass that knowledge on, right? I mean, whether that be, a pizza shop or being a landlord and owning estates or having a construction company, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Something that's successful, a dealership. I think there's a lot of that, right? Money doesn't necessarily buy happiness. And I do think that there are people that have strong-armed their way into riches for sure. I mean, social climbing does exist. Look at the Bush family. You go on and on and on. All right. I always tell my robot wife to get with the program. We got jokes, folks. We got jokes. Do you think vaccines are contaminated with biomarkers that emit a signal that can be tracked and uploaded to? No, I do not. I think the possibility of nanobots in those type of shots are real. That doesn't mean every single vaccine, et cetera, et cetera. We've talked about nanotechnology being injected into animals. Openly. We've already done those stories. So to do so with human beings would be the next step. If you don't think they have these black sites and that literally that type of experimentation has happened, you're insane. You're being naive. Let's see. You'll have karma for 2020. I hope so. She's a beautiful pooch. I love her very much. Let's see. Bionic caramel leg? I don't know about that. What's up, Jay? What's up, Josh Freeman? How you doing? Oh, that's a big jump. Big jump. Sorry. See, this is what happens. All right. So now let's see. Why don't you work for InfoWars, bro? You should 100%. Because why would I work for InfoWars? I mean, we certainly don't agree on a lot of things. I doubt Alex Jones would hire me at this point. Again, for those that don't know, I did work for InfoWars. He did produce several of my pictures. I was the first person he ever gave a show to, the Info Warrior. And that's why if you're not subscribed to youtube.com/InfoWarrior, you should be. I like to think I have a little bit more integrity than what goes on at InfoWars these days. But if anybody would like to debate me on that, I'll go on their show. They can come on mine. I have no qualms about any of that. What do you think will happen in Hong Kong? I don't know, man. The Hong Kong situation's crazy, right? I mean, is it being fueled by our intelligence service, the upheaval there, in light of this trade war, et cetera, et cetera? I don't know really what to say. The possibilities are out there, right? I'm going to have Robbie Martin on, I think, and we're going to talk about it big time. I think that's a issue that really needs to be delved into more. And if you guys have more stories out there you think I should be covering, I'm trying to get to a lot of them. I am missing a lot. I got to get Patrick Henningsen on about what's going on in the Middle East. But hopefully in the next week or so, we're really going to dig in. Let's see. What do you think will happen in Hong Kong? No video from Luke WRC last night. Anyone know if he's okay? I'm sure he's doing fine. I'm as far as I know, right? I mean, I know he's in Hong Kong. He's had some pretty impressive videos in there. Desensitizing of the human race, SMH, evil. Bush Doc, 100% real. Do you put any stock into the hollow earth theory or Operation High Jump? Operation High Jump's interesting, right? Bird and all that other stuff. I don't know. I'll say this. I don't necessarily think that the earth is a hot core of like magma or something like that, okay? I think that, you can only drill so deep. Theories are theories. We don't know exactly what's going on in the world or how it works. And I think we're ignorant to a lot of things. I think we're ignorant to a lot of things that are going on in the ocean, right? So if you don't know about Operation High Jump, if you haven't read the readings of Admiral Byrd, it's an interesting thread to go down. But I think some people dive too far down and break out their jump to conclusion mat. And I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. I feel like technology is such that sooner or later you could confirm that theory on a commercial level or a citizen level. Just like if flat Earth had any real credence by this time, you could prove it. But no. You're awesome. Go back to InfoWars. James, I doubt it's happening. Hey, if InfoWars wants to give me a midnight show, like a few days a week or a 1 day a week, and they want to let me just do my thing, I'm up for it. I mean, I got to get paid. I can't work for that company for free anymore. They certainly make enough money, right? So, hey, if Alex Jones is looking for someone who's going to be honest, I'm right here. I mean, that's it. I'm pretty certain he wouldn't want to push me at this point. Let's see. Gonna watch Rerun. Watching a movie. Dancing pieces of metal are very creepy to think of. Chinese pinball. 18 plus. This is the new Übermensch of the Nazi narrative. Superman, superhuman, and tech version of the Buddha's enlightenment. Do you have a plan to tip them with bitcoins? Gross. I'm sure there will be. You saw there's the new, I'm seeing it in everything. Like when I have my little magic box here, right? What am I seeing? That ad for the Apple credit card now, right? It's not a bank. It's an Apple credit card. Oh, boy, that's great. Let's put tech companies in control. They're going to rival the banksters now. Brian Telford, have you ever looked into the Tavistock Commission and the Committee of 300? You can go to CIA.gov and find awesome read for free. Google will direct you as well. I've only read a little bit of on that. The Tavistock Institute, influencing pop culture. I know there's a connection, I believe, right, to the Beatles and the Rolling Stones apparently over there. I know a lot of people have talked about Laurel Canyon. I've not delved deep down that rabbit hole. Over the years, I've read blogs here and there and opinion pieces here and there. I've never gotten to the nitty-gritty of those documents. So if they're out there, and I do appreciate that super chat, by the way, Brian, I'm willing to go down that hole. Listen, if you don't think that intelligence and organized crime, for instance, are involved in the entertainment industry, you're not paying attention. 100% they are. 100% they are. And that's one of the reasons for instance, that, it's a big taboo to start naming these names and outing these high-end people. Oh, yeah, look at my... He even says it's not the future, it's a gimmick. What's this? No, yeah, I know. Listen, I get that these robots are a gimmick, James Watts. I get it. I'm talking about the culture pushing this stuff. Like I said, when I said that they was coming to that poll, it's just like I showed you they were at the CES. I even said in the very beginning, if you watch this thing, that they're just kind of like a showpiece for now, right? Is there any evidence toward nanotechnology and chemtrails used to control our minds? I've heard theories. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a zombie and don't know it, right? But I doubt it. Again, nanotech, mind control. There's a lot of interesting threads there. TruthStream Media has put out a lot of the things that are already in the public. If you haven't seen The Minds of Men, I encourage you to go check that out for free on YouTube. It's a must watch. Let's see. Who's definitely a tool? Maybe I'm definitely a tool. Stephanie Rodriguez. Have you watched Whitney Cummings stand up with the sex bot? No, I have not. I follow Whitney Cummings. I used to really like Whitney Cummings. I used to like her a lot more before the surgery. I get it. She's a single comedian. She didn't want to get old. But I specifically actually remember being in Jersey with this, I don't want to say her name, but she was a friend of mine at the time, and she was a little bit older. Not super older, but older than me. I think in my mid to late 20s, and she was like, I think she had 10 years on me, somewhere in there. But we really enjoyed her comedy, and I remember, really liking her, and it's sad, kind of like how some of the things she's fallen down. I watch her stuff, and it's like, here, I know comedians are never inherently happy with themselves, and I know that we all have things to work on, and depression comes with comedy, but if you're not comfortable in your own skin, especially in changing that in a way that you have to work for, not just shell out money for, right? Believe me, I'd like to be a little bit bigger. The gun show's not quite there right now. I could lose a little bit right here. The grays are coming in if you can't see them, but I'm rolling with it, and hopefully I'm gonna hit some push-ups, eat a little bit better, maybe run a little bit more, get in better shape, and that's something I work towards. That actually makes you feel good. Physical health and mental health go hand in hand. What do you think about DARPA being used to combat fake news? Very dangerous, because DARPA works for the military-industrial complex. That's what they're about. They're about fake news. They're about controlling the narrative. They're about staying in the Middle East. They're about command and control. They're a very scary organization on many, many levels. Annie Jacobson's book on DARPA, I haven't read it, but I've watched her lecture about it. It's very interesting stuff. Really must-read stuff. Nick Waits, thumbs up and sub, hashtag Burmis. Hashtag Burmis Brigade. Thank you so much, Nick, for all the support through these streams. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. Welcome to Futurama, exactly. Or Star Wars. It's in everything. It's in every little science fiction bit that's been out there. It's not just, it's not just Futurama. Well, I have seen over a dozen spirits on my travels, but not darken outside of the stories yet. I don't know what that means. We are spirits in the material world, Sting. The flesh is with the spirit, but consciousness is of the soul. Will it cook and clean? Shauna, LOL. Robophilia. Do you think you have problems meeting women? Are we talking to me? I do all right. Guys, I have problems committing to relationships, I guess. It's not so much me, but I have trust issues. I come from a mother that's, on her third husband right now. And I'm not a big fan of that guy. I'm not going to get too personal with it. But, my dad was dead when I'm 16. So I think he was 36. My stepfather, who divorced my mother, this is his second wife, but third big relationship. I don't want to get divorced, man. And I'd love to find somebody that's the real deal. But as far as meeting women, it's getting tougher to find women around my age group. But I've run a bar. I worked, I'm a pretty sociable guy. I've done okay in my life. I really don't have any problems meeting or talking to women. Finding long-lasting relationships in a little college town like that, this is a little bit different. All right, let's see. Do you think all religions were engineered by Rome to have eternal worldwide mind control? I think that's a large stretch. I know that, there are, I guess you could call them oligarchs of that time period trying to control people, but you have oligarchs and, even the priest class, during the Aztec culture, et cetera, controlling people through religious information. So I'm not a historian. I think those kind of things are really deep theories. I've only been on this earth 40 years, and I barely can tell you what's really happened in the past 40 years, and anybody telling you otherwise is being dishonest. I can tell you what's put out there in the public eye. I can tell you how I feel about things. I can show you evidence. I can let you decide. I can show you white papers, et cetera. But as far as being on the ground, no. So I'm down on my knees, screwing my robot. Her light's dim, and I almost crap my pants. Well, good for you, Bubba Hodge. Good for you. Yeah, it's an auto flashlight. Yuck. Oh, is that the Chinese thing you're talking about? Oh, Yamasaki going wild. Men are becoming less manly. I agree. BPA and similar chemicals are lowering testosterone and fertility rates, and porn is ruining the minds of men. Realistic VR will be the nail in the coffin. And I have VR. I have an Oculus, and I got to tell you, it is very immersive. The kids often ask me to use it. I usually let them go on, virtual roller coasters. They seem to like those, and occasional small games, but very, very limited. And I do see where it's going. I mean, that alone, the virtual world, which is separate from the kind of the topics we were talking about with transhumanism, I think is going to be an issue as well. Not just for pornography reasons, for a lot of other reasons as well. I know a chick who's down with truth I can hook you up with. You can play the loose change card. I'm not playing any loose change card. I don't play those cards. In fact, most girls have no idea what I actually think or do politically. I mean, at this point now, it's my job. I kind of tell them I do YouTube, but it's certainly not the first thing I come out with. And I don't tell them all the topics. Geopolitics mostly, or technology, et cetera. I'm pretty vague unless they're really super interested in it, because you never know how people are going to feel. You got to feel them out. I'm always trying to find points of agreement with people when I'm meeting them. I think that's an important thing. Mr. Funtime is not going into anything metal. I see. Okay. There we go. Will the robot be iOS compatible? I'm sure there'll be a model that is. Up. Dark Matter's Door says, I'm poor. I didn't know that we jumped big, but thank you for that. Did I miss any other super chats? Burmis Brigade, that one, thank Nick. Thumbs up and sub, hashtag Burmis, I did see that one. See, I try not to skip. You see how it jumps like that? Okay, there we go. Robo with soy milk squirting. Nope, not saying that. Sexy time, cook, clean, and then listen to some iTunes. Nothing is iOS compatible. Shout out to Sam Tripoli for turning me on to your channel. Huge new fan. Thanks, Bubba. Shout out to Sam Tripoli and XG and the whole crew over there at Tinfoil Hat Podcast. I may not agree with everything they have to say, but that's not the point, is it? I think that they bring people in. They have a good sense of humor. Tim Dillon was really fun to talk to. I thought he had some interesting things to say. And it shows that, people can have a conversation, don't necessarily have to agree with one another. Let's see. Agree, Bubba. Thank you. Let's see. I want 6 from tripping the rift. I don't know what that means. Trump going to win? Right now, I don't know who's going to beat him, especially because they just tried. I mean, they've already silenced Gabbard, right? They don't want Gabbard anywhere near those debates. Mechanical could be dangerous. Oh, we got another super chat. We got this one already, right? Yeah, there we go. We talked about Marcia McLennan, and she said almost all of them died except one guy on 9/11. Do you know the name of the top off your head? I don't, but Marcia McLennan, you know who turned me on to Threads there? Richard Andrew Grove. So if you don't know who Richard Andrew Grove is and you're not aware of Tragedy and Hope and that website, I would encourage people to go check that out. I think it's really extremely important. He does a lot of thread work with the finances and the intelligence network. So please go check him out as well. Mechanical organ. Oh boy. Shouldn't taxes be lower due to automation in the workplace? You'd think that, but instead people like Bezos are basking in the fact that they get corporate welfare and their workers can't afford to live. So we're actually subsidizing them on 2 levels, giving them other welfare. So he gets corporate welfare for hiring them with all these bonus programs and incentives and doesn't pay any taxes in reality. And then we have to subsidize them on another level with our tax money because they can't afford to feed their families. That's how the system really works. It's disturbing. It's disturbing. Yes, robots are really pole dancing now. Most of it's a show, but you wait. Give it another 10 years. I'm sure the Asian culture will have it more of a perma stamp. Taxes should be lowered because governments suck at the jobs. I do not trust Elon Musk, Derek. I've done a few videos on that. I don't trust Neuralink. I don't want 4 small holes drilled in my head with a Bluetooth device. I don't like the fact that he has chimpanzees or monkeys or whatever controlling computers through that human brain interface. Oh, wait, it's not a human brain interface. It's a brain interface with computers because he's also done it with mice. When are you going to admit to your audience that Flight 77 did hit the Pentagon? Gaza, is this the new chime? I mean, I had this conversation about Flight 77 and now people attacking me about the Pentagon stuff. Once again, let's get some things out of the way. I know I did Fabled Enemies in 2008, but I also did a film called Loose Change Final Cut, which you can watch free. Hey, Gaza. Okay. Huh, champ? When was that? 2007? Oh, it's almost 12 years old. Not good enough for people. So there it is. It's right above me. And if you go to my channel here, right next to it, right? Go to playlists and documentaries. Okay, I'm going to talk real slow. Really slow, because you might need me to talk slow because you don't seem to get it. You go over here, we're going to clicky click. Okay? Now, and we're going to go real slow for you. You click documentaries. Okay? And then, now maybe start
anybody
shade,
who's
but you come
taken
right here to Loose Change Final Cut, right? Oh, look at that. We're going to pause it. And then there's a whole section. A whole section here. Oh, look at this. How big is this? I think it's like a half an hour almost. It's over 20 minutes. Yeah. Ends there. It's certainly not perfect. It's 24 minutes long. Okay? About what happened at the Pentagon and why anything should have hit it. We show all the plane debris. We give you all the angles. We talk about the possibility of Flight 77 hitting the building. Okay? We didn't stick it out from Loose Change Second Edition and act like there was not any other information. We went to D.C. We talked to people. This is 12 fucking years ago. And still trolls like you with the knowledge of a peon come here to attack me. That's fine. That's fine. We'll do it every time. We'll get rid of your dishonesty. It's just like I covered up for Israel when I have a 20-minute section in my 2008 film, not just about the dancing Israelis, but about Amdocs, Converse, and other connections in 9/11. I've talked about Huntley, and I think it's ICTS security in the Dark Overlord documents. Not good enough for you. Not good enough for you. You want to lie about me. So, good for you. Good for you, champ. Keep it up. We won't block you for that. Don't worry. Burmis being real. Thank you, Radical Beast. Damn right. The Big Bang Theory is ridiculous, and so is the spinning ball theory. I'll say this. I do think the Big Bang Theory is ridiculous, Mike. I don't think something comes out of nothing. Jason, deputize someone. Trolls are coming out. Let the trolls have their days. It's funny. Have you looked into anything on vitamins B17 and its possible effects on beating cancer? Yeah, it's interesting because B17 is I like G. Edward Griffin. I know A World Without Cancer. B17 is actually called something else, and it was patented as B17. So it's not exactly a B vitamin in that sense. I don't know a huge amount about it, but I do know that my dog is doing well with what I'm doing with Tippins, mycancerstory.rocks. Go check it out. I trust Elon Musk when he is high. I do not. You will get pay, really will. I don't know what that means. I'm reading Creature from Jekyll Island, but just found out that G. Edward Griffin wrote a health book claiming a certain natural compound can cure cancer with no evidence. Should I still read Creature? You should. You should. Listen, just because somebody may be wrong about something doesn't mean they're wrong about another thing. You have to take things with a grain of salt. For instance, Webster Tarpley, who I just put up that little small excerpt from yesterday. I don't agree with everything Tarpley has to say, but I think there's a lot of great information in synthetic terror. Now, in 9/11 Crossing the Rubicon by Michael Rupert, this was a peak oil guy. I thought a lot of his information was wrong, but he did a lot of good, extensive work on the military drills on 9/11. So you got to kind of pick and choose with your own discernment. I'm not going to be right about everything either. I'm not perfect. No one is. Alex Jones was good twice. Waking Life and A Scanner Darkly. He was good in those. I did enjoy those little bits. Google legal name fraud if you want truth. Have you ever heard of the New World? No. Hey, Quilty. What's up, everyone? What's up, Ronaldo? Your thoughts on Talib Kweli becoming a rampant SJW? I didn't know much about him before he was a rampant SJW. I know he was on Chappelle's show. Saw him live with Mos Def. They did an album together. Saw him at, what was that? I know Wu-Tang Clan was there, and Wu-Tang Clan, Rage Against the Machine. It was an awesome show. Anthrax, Immortal Technique, Jedi Mind Tricks, a ton of really awesome. I mean, I had a great time there. By the end of the day, I was pooped up. Heard the same thing on B17. Yes, I love Truth Media. They are the best. Add 4-hour waiting. Warning for Minds of Men. 3-hour 42 minute. 3-hour 42 minutes, Media Maven. Watch it in sections. Bro, I've never heard so much info from one place. The amount of names you have dropped blows my mind. Thank you very much, Rowan. I appreciate that. Jesse Smollett is French. Smollett. That was good. That was one of the things I really liked in the Chappelle Show thing. The Chappelle Show stuff was really funny on that. You got to give him that. Who will win UFC Saturday night? I mean, I think I got Khabib, but I'm pretty excited. It's not even going to be nighttime. It's going to be daytime. I think the prelims start at noon. Main card is at 3 p.m. So by like 6 or 7 p.m. it'll be over. I'm looking forward to it, baby. I got to tell you. Let's go. It's a big card. Saturday is the real deal Camille. So very much looking forward to that. Drop more interviews from the truth or past. I'm going to keep dropping them. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Shouldn't taxes be lowered? We already said this. Dustin by third round KO. It'd be amazing if he could put his hands on him like that. Khabib's never really been rockled. You know, he's been hit. He's been put down a little bit. But, dude, he's a beast. The movie Minds of Men is the best informative movie. It's very good. Lick that smash button. Thumbs up. Don't worry, Jason. You look healthy and fine to me. Thank you, Sunstone Lion. I'm trying to be as healthy as I can. Twitter is full of fake tweets to psychoanalyze me, irritating. Don't know what's real and fake anymore. Wait till the rise of the bots. The real bots, not the Russian bots they tell you about that don't really exist. Not the Johnny Nonsense bots. You would like a rotary dance? I don't know what that means. Oh, we're getting back to pole dancing. Same reason my child is 8 and I'm with her dad and not married. I get you, hijinks. What would make you for Trump in 2020? Get us out of some of the Middle East stuff. Pull back from the Iran debacle. That's what would get me. I mean, let's get out of Afghanistan. Let's stop lying about al-Qaeda and ISIS. Let's stop funding those groups in covert fashion so that we can overthrow dictators. Or what we say are dictators. It's not our fucking business. I want out of taking over the Eurasian region with Saudi Arabia and Israel. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yada, yada, yada. You mean you the man. Bullshit. I don't know what that means. My mom on marriage 3. But the third is lasted, thank God. Have you tapped into the globalist fountain of youth? You haven't aged since the Democracy Now! Debate in 2006. I would disagree. I've aged quite a bit. Yes, I am 40, Ivan. It's true. I'm a 40-year-old man. Whoa. We just jumped quite a bit. See the jumpins. It happens. Yeah, there we go. You think Trump would ever release the 9/11 documents? No, he couldn't even release the JFK documents twice. How's he releasing the 9/11 documents? I doubt it. James, just unlikely he drops the Kennedy. There, exactly. Jason, you need a woke lady. I hate the term woke. I don't need anybody that's woke. I need a real person that has their own goals and their own life and wants to work with me, and that we can support one another and realize that everything's not perfect. And I know that's a fairy tale, but I hope one day I'm on a relationship gravy train with biscuit wheels, folks. We'll see. Why does Alex Jones basically think Trump is the second coming of Christ money and is anti-globalist and money and Roger Stone? I mean, power, influence, etc., delusionality. I can go on and on. I don't know that he believes that. You the man. You the mission. Keep on keeping on. Eric Kallstrom, Catherine Horton, Nisen Lopez, Douglas Jones. Can you interview them? I don't know who any of those people are. But send me some information maybe in my DMs. I try to go through as many of those as I can. No, I don't follow fairy tales. Any sex robot can easily be turned into an assassin bot. You're not wrong. You're doing fine. The right lady will come along when you least expect it. Trump is the only one who stood up to them and made all the conspiracies mainstream. It's good America is hopefully waking up. I don't know, man. It's a long story, but I know answer on Trump question. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that, especially as we're 45 minutes deep into this bad boy. What does it have to? Why does it have to be a lady? I'm down. Well, thank you, Sandcastle Collapsing. Unfortunately, I know that there's a lot of fluid gender people out there. I'm not one of them. I'm pretty vanilla when it comes to all those sorts of things. I'm not into 50 Shades of Grey or any of that stuff. That's just me. That's just me. Let's keep going here. Gazaboo. How do we donate using PayPal or PayPay? Email, bank transfer. JasonIsVoid@yahoo.com has a PayPal. And then there's also, I have a Bitcoin address on the bottom there, and then you can always use your credit card, I guess. You do that at GoFundMe. I still want a Dreamy Pillow. No thanks on the Dreamy Burmese Pillow. Guys, I'm sorry, that's never going to happen. Hopefully I'm going to get merch soon. I don't know what I got to do to be able to have merch for you guys and have it actually enabled and have members and real emojis and cool stuff, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's see. Gazaboo, except for you, Jason. You're the only one I really see. You're like a fine wine, getting better with age, and be proud of what you do when you meet girls. The sooner you know they don't get it, the more time you save. Oh, that's nice. Ryan Dawson says you won't admit it. That's where it comes from. Again, trolls will be trolling. Trolls will be trolling, man. What can I say? James, just as likely hell will freeze over. Do you think it's possible that the collapse of the buildings 1 and 2 were used to cover the noise of the bombs in Building 7, which is, I don't know about that. Listen, they knew what they were doing at those buildings, period. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Does the robot do tap instead of cash? Because he's a shill. Trump wins. Kushner and Pompeo went to Bilderberg meetings. Yep. Always represented by the winner. Are you out of your mind? You think it was a good thing that Kushner and Pompeo were at those meetings? That's the delusional stuff that kills me. Set them straight, Jason. Flying 11, Viva Fly Vegas. Or False Vegas. I don't know what that means. In every plane crash, they need to find engines. Keep up the great work. Truth and facts kill trolls. Do you see the Rusty Shackleton drone footage that he uploaded on August 30th? It was not Epstein. The older gentleman at the island was not Epstein. Come on, guys. Get with it. There's a worker there. Yes, Amy Goodland in apricot seeds is what B17 is called. Yes, look into Lyme disease. It's a real problem, okay? STF about Dawson. Me? You don't like me about Dawson? I mean, he's the one talking about me, apparently. I don't know what that means. I mean, I'm not really... Again, if he's talking about me, I don't know. He trolled me for years and told me that I'm a terrible person. So I don't know what to say. I don't ever talk about the guy. Did you guys see that drone footage of Jeffrey Epstein hanging out very much alive on his island? Again, that's not him. It's not him. P.S. Thanks, Permis, for not being a dipshit. I don't know whether that's sarcasm or not. Nitro slide. I don't know what that is. That what that's called? Amalgam. Yay to hey yo. Tell that to the left, Nick. I don't know what's going on there. is a big new, I don't know what that is. Living in an echo chamber. Yeah, listen, man, I want to have conversations with people that I might not agree with. I'm willing to do that. I just don't like people that have lied about me and trolled me for years. For years. It's weird. It's like, again, I kind of talked a little bit about it on the walk and talk today, but look, man, I don't like covering Alex Jones when he calls for martial law in this country. I don't like covering Alex Jones when he's calling for them to install Guaido in Venezuela. But when those are neocon talking points that are going to cost lives and turmoil, I have to say something. I mean, he's a huge personality. He's on the O'Reilly level or bigger, right? Other than that, you don't see... Everybody else I call out is pretty much mainstream. And the only reason I call him out is because, I mean, he has a large following of people that come into my audience and say things. You know, I'm trying not to pander to anybody. Truth is truth out there, guys, and that's how I feel about it. I'm not perfect, but I never claimed to be. L. Paul Brenner, Mofo, what's going on here? That's Dawson. I mean, are people harassing him about that, or what's going on? Free me, burn me, pillow. Is there anything here? Jenny from the block was a fire back. Yes, I don't think she was that fire back then. Oh yeah, I would go on with Alex, 100%. You know what? It would be interesting what he has to say behind the scenes to me, because I'm sure he'd want to prep it, man. I know a lot of things that went on there and how he treated me, and I was very upset. For instance, I feel like I deserve an apology, just so everybody knows. He went on some broadcast someone sent to me when Joe Biggs left and spouted off how I was talking about making $1 million and going to Hollywood, and none of that is true. I was trying to make a mind control documentary there, and I got a small movie deal, and Jones wanted to keep me there, but he didn't want to do documentary films with me. And I was going to be making significantly less money if that were the case. I'd be working for him on his stuff. Not enough to live, in my opinion. And quite frankly, if I write and direct a film, I'd like that credit. That's all. And that's why I think you saw the end, really, of documentary films after I left there. There were a couple things that went out, but they certainly didn't qualify for real documentaries. Would I share a big bowl of chili with AJ? You know what? Maybe call Q. Exactly. He said he talked to Q, for God's sakes. I mean, that's something he did. You know, there's a lot he's done that he has to account for and own up to. And I don't respect that, that he doesn't do that. And that's why I guess, especially when you guys bring it up, that I get pulled into even talking about this stuff. But that's about it. I don't know. I think he does fine on his website. However, it hurts you when you're not on YouTube. YouTube is a platform as large as television. That's why it's important I stay here, in my opinion. I think it is important. I want to reach as many people as possible. Weird, right? And with that being said, guys, you know what? I think it's about that time. We went almost an hour here.
Anybody who's taken...
Let's just delete that. I'm doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos a day. We do a lot more than just these AMA chats. I've got the archives coming out. I do the walk-in talks. We're talking about NXIVM. We're talking about Epstein. We're talking about 9/11, especially on the way up to the anniversary, transhumanism, and much, much more. So make sure you're subscribed. You're sharing this stuff on social media. You're following me on Twitter. Remember, you can watch all my films over in the playlist section, as I showed you on this broadcast. And I'm doing it with your support. That's how I'm doing it, with your help. It's through these GoFundMes monthly with a $5,000 goal that I'm able to put these videos out 7 days a week and let you know that it's all about it's all about right and wrong and not about left and right. And this idea that we should be separated based on these political ideologies that are falsehoods and funded by the same oligarchs on both sides of the fence. Remember that George Soros and Charles Koch have started a foundation called the Quincy Institute, where they're going to work together to stop the forever wars. Mr. Lefty and Mr. Righty, it's a facade. It's Johnny nonsense. It's bullshit, and we need to get beyond that. I also want to thank everybody out there that's doing the big super chats. They help. They encourage YouTube to keep me on the platform. Nick, as always, I really do appreciate you supporting me. We got a lot of great supporters out there. So I just want to say Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow with even more information. And you guys keep it cool out on the flip side. Cameras don't malfunction that often. I see you, Benny Bravo.